everything I throw at this car. It just eats it up. I'm sorry if I seem a bit excited right now, but I love new tech. I really love it.
Hey y'all, it's Dr. Know-It-All. Very exciting news. Tesla full self-driving supervised has come to Australia and I think New Zealand as well. And I was super excited to see that Ecotricity already has a video out within hours. I guess that's the advantage there over in Australia. So it's in the future from where I am right now. But anyway, I'm really happy that I'm able to look at this. I've looked at the first a couple of seconds of this video, but not the whole thing. I wanted to watch it and react in real time. I'm going to leave a link to the original in the description. Please watch his video. That would only be fair. And I very much appreciate being able to utilize this. I'm going to skip through a little bit probably because it's 22 minutes long, but I want to kind of hit, I don't know, whatever turns out to be the highlights. I'll watch the whole thing and then I'll cut it later. So this all starts out with him getting a free flight from New Zealand to Brisbane, Australia by Tesla. So that'd be great if they would do that for us one of these days. I don't think in the United States we're ever going to get a free ride from anywhere, but very cool that he got a free trip to Brisbane to test out the Teslas down under. As you probably know, they drive on the left-hand side of the road with the steering wheel on the right, so everything looks very different. And the title of this video is that full self-driving in Australia and New Zealand is frickin' surreal. So I assume it's going to be a pretty positive review, but it's very funny. In just the few seconds I watched, he was very blown away by the full self-driving and like what it could do and very terrified of it as well. And the reason I think this is important is that we who live in this sort of Tesla full self-driving bubble, we know this stuff. We experience it every day. We get to ride in it. Even the robo-taxi, the people who were using it at the time that I was there were all, of course, very experienced Tesla YouTube creators, content creators. And so we were all kind of like, yeah, we're used to this. We understand what this is. No big deal. But it's really cool to see somebody who's never gotten to experience this just jumping into the future. Let's just say from the reaction I've seen so far, he is not at all jaded. So we're going to go ahead and play this. I will pause it from time to time and talk, but I will also listen and react. So you'll get to see both of these things in real time.
We're in Queensland right now to see what full self-driving actually feels like. This is the big rollout of full self-driving for both New Zealand and Australia. These are the cars. This is a world first. Let's see what all the fuss is about. Are we ready to go?
All right. Ready to go.
Okay.
Enjoy.
I'm in a Tesla Model 3.
So again,
with
right-hand side.
Full self-driving, supervised. Apparently, I've never experienced this in my life. All I got to do apparently is push that blue button and the car will drive by itself. Oh. Pressing and holding. Be attentive, keep your hands on the wheel. Okay.
I don't think it is keep your hands on the wheel. Maybe it's different in Australia.
Man.
Maybe you actually have to do
this
that.
Is surreal,
usually
man.
In the US,
no, this is war. This is weird, man. What the heck? We've just left the destination. It is an early beta model, this full self-driving supervised that I'm operating right now. So I am in control, and apparently I have been warned that it could make some occasional errors. Oh, there's no indicator. Is it going to do it? It does it by itself! That's madness, man. Okay, we're now leaving.
So the indicator light turned on by itself. It's very funny because that just seems very normal to me now. He was also looking for the stock. This is the Model 3 version that only has the push button ones like the Cybertruck and everything. So not the new one where they revised it and put the stock back in. But anyway, not a big deal. But obviously he is tickled about the idea that he doesn't have to push the stock to make the turn signal go on. And obviously we're also turning out into fairly busy traffic here. So you can watch this coming forward.
A private road and we're going onto a public road. This is the real deal. Oh man, oh, are you sure you want to do that? There's a truck coming. Here, I'll tell you what, I'm just going to pull over here and take over. There we go.
Okay, so interestingly enough, the right-hand turn, of course, is like a left-hand turn in the United States and other countries. You can see that as he makes that right-hand turn, he has to go across all the lanes, so he was very concerned about that. It looks like there's some sort of equivalent of a suicide lane there. I've never been to Australia. Folks, if you want to invite me to Australia or New Zealand, I will be happy to go. Just let me know, because I would love to go there. It's on the bucket list. Anyway, it looks like he's in kind of a suicide lane and decided to bail on, the full self-driving thing. I can understand that. If you don't trust it, that's a big truck. You don't want to be messing around with it. So yeah.
I've disengaged. It just pulled out of the venue. I didn't trust it because a truck came and I got scared. So I'm now going to engage it myself by pressing the autopilot button. This will engage full self-driving, supervised. Ooh. So it's now driving itself on what looks like a fairly challenging road. It's a bit twisty.
Notice he's still got his hands on it.
So
he's
as
got
I was
the little
saying,
panic grip.
as this is a beta version, it will supposedly make some occasional errors. You've got to keep your eyes on it. It could, for example, go a little slower than the road speed, or perhaps it could indicate a little late. That's another thing they said. So just keep your eyes on the car. It's still learning. Okay, so you've got to keep your hands on the wheel, obviously.
So that's really interesting because those are two things that don't seem to be a problem in the US version of full self-driving is driving too slow and indicating too late. In other words, the turn signal comes on too late. So interesting glitches that are different with different countries and everything. I'm pretty sure that Australia is in kilometers per hour, so obviously it needs to be able to read those signs appropriately and do kilometers per hour versus miles per hour, but that shouldn't be a real big deal.
But it's doing it by itself. It's braking, it's indicating by itself. I don't know how else to convey the feeling I'm feeling right now into words that you can understand watching through your screen. This is weird. I've driven since I was 15, actually before that, but we're not going to tell the police that. But this is by far one of the most surreal experiences I've ever had, man.
I love that.
Now, those of you watching over in America who've had full self-driving for years, this is going to be like, oh, what's this Kiwi on about? But this is a world first. This Australia-New Zealand launch of full self-driving supervised is a world first. Quite literally, I am one of the first people in the world to do this. How did I end up in this job, man? Oh, this is wild. So we've got 4 legs on this journey, but I'm not going to make you watch the entire...
roundabout.
I'm not going to make you watch the entire thing. That was smooth.
In 300 meters, enter the roundabout and take the second exit.
Okay, this will be a challenge. Like, I can't do a roundabout. Humans can barely manage roundabouts. Here we go.
And it's on the wrong side. This freaks me out a little bit watching this.
Take the second exit.
It's indicating by itself. No way, this can't be happening, man.
So it did have a car in front of it that slowed it down, so that's interesting. Teslas have gotten really good at roundabouts, I have to say.
You are kidding me, man.
Quite excellent at it now. Nicely done. Nicely done.
Are you going to indicate left, though? Okay, so it didn't indicate left. It made a little mistake there.
Okay. So it missed it.
It didn't seem to cause any chaos, but, you know. But that, I just went through a roundabout. The car did it by itself, man.
So if you don't know, this was actually a significant problem with Teslas for a long time. And when it went to Europe and stuff, when they tested it in Europe, it was a significant problem with roundabouts. They are not as frequent in the United States, although they're getting more and more frequently because they're very efficient for traffic, but they've gotten better and better at handling it. I have a route that I've done. If you haven't seen those videos, I'll leave 1 or 2 of those up here and at the end of this video, but I have a roundabout in that drive and it handles the roundabout so flawlessly now that I don't even think about it, but it is pretty cool. You know, I love the enthusiasm here. It's just wonderful.
Whoa, this is wild. Okay, oh, another roundabout. Gee, the Tesla staff really did choose a lot of roundabouts.
Oh, so he didn't
This is
choose
baptism
the
by
route.
fire
That's
here.
interesting.
Now enter the roundabout and take the first exit.
Okay, so this should be easy, straight through. I mean, I'm looking. Why am I looking? You're driving. You going to indicate? No. I mean, I do have an Australian driver's license, but I can't remember. You're supposed to indicate when leaving a roundabout, right? In Australia? You do in New Zealand. Oh, this will be interesting.
I'm sure.
Okay, I think
sure
we're
you
turning right at a
Now
settle.
turn right onto Beanley Redland Bay Road.
Set of traffic lights? How? How's it going to do this? No. Okay. Oh, it's stopping for this. Oh, it read the keep clear sign, and then saw it was clear.
That was
and
great.
What the?
So again, it's those subtle human touches. Again, if you haven't driven with full self-driving or ridden in a robotaxi yet, it's pretty cool that it basically reads those signs. It understands things like keep this intersection clear. And so you could see what it did was it just waited until there was enough room that it could sort of tell that it could shoot the gap and get up behind the other car without blocking that traffic. So really, really cool.
Frig, man. This is wild, man. And none of these people know that this car is driving itself. This is a first.
I feel that way every day when I drive.
That combustion ute. Aussies love
do people
combustion,
even
man.
notice this?
What year is it here? Okay, last green. What are you going to do?
Okay.
It's moving. It's moving, and there's no like long lag or anything. Okay, this is going to be challenging. This is going to be challenging.
So
Here
this
we
is
go.
the equivalent of a left-hand turn
Here
in
we
the
go.
US.
Look at this. Look at this. It's driving by itself. I'm supposed to keep my hands on the wheel.
Nice.
Behave, Gavin. Behave. Stop showing off to the other motorists. Your car's not doing this. All right, as we go to our destination, this is, holy sausages, it's changing lane by itself.
Yeah, that's a
Are
pretty
you seeing
cool
this?
thing.
Why would I be talking to the other drivers? I have no idea what's going on. They just think I've lost my mind, which I have. But we must hide this. All right. Okay, so now the car is driving by itself. I'm trying not to panic.
Now enter the roundabout and take the second exit.
I'm going to try and do a little piece to camera during this. Okay, we're turning right. Now's a good time for me to go. There's a big truck. Now's a good time for me to tell you
really
about
well.
the
You can
difference
see that
between
far
full
away.
self-driving and autopilot and auto. Oh, it indicated left. Well done.
Now bear right to stay on Beanley Redland Bay Road.
This is really quite complicated. Okay, full self-driving. it does everything, right? As you can see. There is a bit of history to full self-driving. Gosh, it's smooth. You know, some early systems, you expect them to drive like 16-year-old drives. Remember when...
Yeah, so that is a big difference. That's a good note here, is that version 13 of full self-driving is very much like an adult driver now. At the beginning days, you know, at the very beginning, it was like the kid who just got his permit yesterday and it drove pretty bad and was very terrifying, little white knuckle. And that was like, you know, version 10, version 9. I never even got to drive version 9, but like people like James Dauma and stuff, they drove version 9. So anyway, but this version, it's so much like a good adult driver. I can't wait to experience version 14.
You were 16 and, you know, you weren't that good, but at the time you thought you were the best driver in the world and no one could convince you otherwise. Well,
true that.
This actually drives a lot like I would. I don't know if that's a compliment. Okay, we're getting on the motorway, or as the Aussies call it,
put it in
the motorway.
Hurry mode.
Do they? Do you guys talk like that? Tell you what, the roads in Australia are smooth, man. This ain't no Waikato Expressway. Okay, so we're gonna join. Oh, you're doing it by yourself.
I got to get to New Zealand and find out what the Waikato Express is like.
This is a world first, man. This is a first for me personally as well. And now that the car is driving itself on the motorway, mate, this is and changing lane by itself. Now's a good time for me to tell you
so
all
again,
about
we're going at high speeds
full self-driving and a little history lesson. But Elon dug his feet in, and we're changing lane. All right, you do your thing, baby. Now,
so I just want to break in here real quick and say that the radar thing has been a big, you know, fight, and people were saying it was because he was being cheap and all that stuff, but Elon was all about the fact that it was about sensor fusion and everything. If you haven't seen the video, I just did one recently. I'll put that up here and at the end of the video as well. But I talk about that, where sensor fusion is a significant problem. It's you get contention, you get an argument between the radar and the LiDAR and the vision, and you don't know which one, you know, what do you vote with? How do you make a decision in a couple of milliseconds about which one is right? So as it turns out, doing optical only, doing vision only was exceptionally challenging and difficult, and it took Tesla the better part of 10 years. But now that it appears to be working, Tesla is in the very enviable position of being able to scale out their cars. All of their cars have this hardware in it. They have the software in it. They can be, you know, turned on at any moment here. As soon as regulators approve it, for example, in Australia and New Zealand, you can turn it on and begin to use it. Even though this country has very, very different driving rules, particularly left and right sides and things like that, even if you have that, the vehicle is able to operate in those conditions. Very, very cool. It was a long road.
Something changed. In 2023, there was a big tear down of a car. I think it was a Model 3. And they discovered when they took all the front of the car apart that, hang on, what's this? There's a radar in this car. Yep. All Teslas, I think it's Model 3s and Model Ys, on hardware 4 have radar. But supposedly it's disconnected. It's there just as a redundant safety device. So whether that means they will turn it back on again if necessary to make it even more precise, I don't know. But so far, purely based on vision, as someone who's never experienced it before, so far it is doing an incredible job. Now I'm still in control.
So I want to break in here. A reduction in phantom braking and reported improvement in FSD experiences led some Tesla owners to suspect radar has been reactivated. No, that is not the case. It has not been reactivated. The radar is there. I think it might be there for the potential for adding it in the future for things like fog or heavy rain or something like that. It is not being utilized right now. It is vision only. Elon just posted a couple of days ago about how that sensor fusion contention causes problems. This is not the case. They're not doing this. They're all in on vision at this point. If they add it back in the future, then good for them. But it also could be something as stupid as the fact that if they want to get the top safety picks, they have to have a radar unit installed, even if they don't use it. So I don't know, but whatever the situation is, it is definitely not being used currently. And prove me wrong if you can find proof of that. All right, so I want to pause on that real quick. This is a very, very significant beautiful thing about Tesla's full self-driving. The visualizations are very, very cool. Also, She's Always a Woman, good song. I'm sure he has that turned down so that it's not causing problems, but it is actually playing at the moment. And again, notice we're in kilometers per hour, so it understands that, obviously, because Canada's that way as well. You've got the end of the trip. You've got your standard. Everything looks pretty standard, except, of course, all the stuff is on the wrong side of the road. You guys driving on the left, it's bugging me, man. It's bugging me.
Safer as well. It's safer than all the humans around me. This lady in her late model Fiat, this car is safer than her driving statistically, because as of 2025, mid-2025, there's now been, I think, 4.6 billion miles traveled under supervised full self-driving all around the world. Now, to put that in perspective, if you're using full self-driving, in America, for example, you can expect to have approximately, according to the stats, 1 crash per 6.6 million miles traveled. I think that's what the figure is.
I don't think that's right. I think it's more like 500,000, so it'd be around 1 million kilometers, something like that. So I think it's actually substantial. Oh, he might be talking about full self-driving here. Yes, that is correct. So it's on the order of 7 million miles. So it's significantly safer than driving on your own. Now, of course, we're talking about the human still in the loop. It's a supervised system, so it's a combination human plus full self-driving. But I will tell you from experience, I don't intervene much at all except for just being annoyed. The Cybertruck's a little bit different. It does weird things once in a while, but the Model Y is just bang on. I pretty much never have to disengage the Model Y for safety reasons. It's just for convenience because I want to do something different. Once in a while in a parking lot or something, those last few feet, it can get a little weird, but the rest of the drive, it's just amazing.
Stupidly high number. Those are pretty good odds, you know, 6.6 million miles. I've had more crashes than that, and I've never driven that far. However, if you are not using full self-driving, like all of these vehicles around me, then they are more likely to have an accident. In America, cars under human pilot, that's human controlled, typically have an accident every 700,000 miles. Yeah. The stats don't lie, unless you're a conspiracy theorist, in which
Basically,
case do what you like with them.
magnitude.
The real world stats don't lie. Full self-driving is safer than driving under human power. That doesn't mean I'm relaxed, though. I'm still a bit stressed out. This is wild, man.
I love it. Now, again, remember, it's full self-driving supervised, so there's a human in the loop. It's not a human not in the loop at this point. So be very, very clear about that. But that combination of human plus full self-driving is about 10x safer than just a human driving, which really begs the question, if you purchase a car, I know if you don't have money and you only have $10,000, you buy whatever you can get with it. But if you have 40 or 50,000 US dollars, why would you not buy one of these vehicles? It's like you're taking a risk with yourself and your family. I really do wonder about that when people buy BMWs and Mercedes and things like that. I'm like, you guys are taking a risk with your family that wouldn't exist if you bought a Tesla instead. So it really does beg the question about that.
Normally, on autopilot, it'll say dead center. This, however, does have a little touch of the nomadicism. It is moving to the left and right more than it would on autopilot.
It will go around.
I think it's an interesting observation.
Like that. It will.
Oh, right. We're changing lane.
So it will
you do
also,
your thing, baby.
But it also moves around.
Seems to know what it's doing.
For cars and things.
Wild, man. Okay, now let's talk about full self-driving supervised and the rules, or at least the Aussie and the New Zealand rules. Now, the Aussie rules, they're tough. They're really, really tough. So I don't see full self-driving unsupervised happening anytime soon in Australia. But as you can see, this seems to be more than enough for the time.
Okay, so I want to jump in there. So yeah, there's a good chance that they won't allow a robo-taxi for a long time, but this is already such a mental workload reduction. Driving a car, well, riding in a car like this with full self-driving supervised is such a reduction in mental workload that it makes a huge difference. My wife and I are going to go see my mom, which is about a 10.5-hour drive up in Northern Virginia. Anyway, we're going to leave for the long weekend because it's Labor Day here in the US, and we're going to have the car drive us. And the fact that it drives us means we'll arrive in a much more relaxed condition. Our brains will be happier, our bodies will be happier, less tension, all of that kind of stuff. It really, really matters, especially for those longer road trips.
Oh, we're changing lane, are we? Okay, why not? Let's do your thing. Wasn't ready for that. Okay. In New Zealand, however, it's a different story. The rules, they're not so much easy as, you know, like me after 2 drinks. They're more like, the Kiwi rules are a bit more vague. Like, it's implied that you have to be in control of the vehicle in New Zealand, but it's not quite written that way. Because the rules were written when Emotep was still learning to drive in New Zealand. It's a bit outdated. Oh, okay, all right, why
so
not?
Again, and notice it's pulling into the
one thing that's
right-hand lane as opposed to the left-hand lane, so that's like the faster lane, I assume, in Australia. So really interesting that New Zealand might actually be able to sneak this in because it sounds like the laws haven't been updated in 30 or 40 years. So really interesting about that.
Brings to mind, though, that if this full self-driving, what are you doing? Okay, it's slowing down. This might just be a early beta thing. Oh no, it's an 80 zone. Okay, that's why it slowed down. Okay, no one else seems to have done that. So what I might do is just move over into the left lane, make sure I'm not holding anyone up.
So he's forced that.
Does it by itself. But as I sit here doing full self-driving supervised, it brings me to an interesting thought I had. Okay, so let's just say that you live in Wellington or Auckland or Brisbane, for example, and you pay, say, $30 a day for your parking in the city, right? What if You just drove into your city, drove into your office job or wherever you work, and instead of spending $30 a day, which adds up over a year, you just send your car home. Like, imagine everyone in a Tesla sending their cars home. Now, I know, I've been in lots of car parks in Auckland. There are Teslas everywhere. They're full of them. As theoretical as this sounds, that's quite a hit for the income of the parking industry, you know? That's quite a hit. And we say that, yeah, this is theoretical, it's silly, this will never happen. But look, I never thought this would happen, and look at it.
It's a good point. I mean, urban design is going to change when these cars become more common. Will people send their personal cars home? It depends on the commute, right? It would, if you have to drive like 50 miles to get back home again, probably not. But if it's like 6 or 7 miles, yeah, sure, why not send it back home again or something? But when it really changes is when you get the robotaxi, when you have a car that you don't even own that just picks you up at your house, drops you off. You don't even care what happens to it after that. It goes off and does its own thing. That really changes the urban landscape.
We thought the internet would never happen. We thought heavier than air flight would never happen. We thought this full self-driving would never happen. And here it is happening, and I'm in it. And this is freaking incredible. We went through those roundabouts. We're on the motorway. We've gone through streets and traffic and red lights and all that. And it is an absolute walk in the park. It is a walk in, well, South Bank Park. It's a really well-built city, this place, eh? I lived here back in like 2003, I think it was, 2003, 2004, a couple of years. Okay, you're a little close to the white line there, my friend. You're going to move over a little? There we go. There we go. It's moving back left. Again, this is an early version. You watching this right now, whatever version you get will likely be just a little more polished than this. It's updating constantly. It's learning constantly from
so it looks like
idiots like me
out
making mistakes.
Most people. That's
apparently
cool.
The Tesla staff chose this route because they thought it would be the most interesting. I don't know what that means. If that means the easiest, I don't think so. There's not been an easy journey. There's roundabouts and everything. I thought roundabouts would be the ultimate challenge, no? Or if they made it because it's the most visually interesting. I don't know.
It is beautiful.
Tell you what, it is testing the system though. This isn't, because this is the motorway. You know, autopilot does this. This. Probably even your car does this. This is easy. It's the lane changing, the motorways. Keep your hands on the wheel. I know. Before you write in the comments, yes, I put my hands on the wheel. It's the lane changing the motorways, roundabouts, the traffic lights, especially when there's left turn and right turn only lanes. Now keep in mind, as smooth as this is, it's not infallible. It is still beta. You've still got to tick that box at the start there that says, yes, I'm at fault if I crash. Even if the car is in control. Because you are supervising it. That's the name. Full self-driving, supervised. You are legally responsible if something goes wrong. Keep that in mind. Oh, okay.
Cool.
All right.
Nice
Why
merge.
not?
That was really well done. Good merge.
Okay. Not stressed at all. No.
In 200 meters, keep right.
I love how he's
Really?
reacting to this.
Right.
It's really
Are you
interesting to be so jaded
dear.
about this and seeing somebody go
Aren't we
like,
supposed to be in that
holy
lane?
mackerel, this is incrable. I
Aren't we
love
supposed to be in
It's-
that lane?
It's making me happy again about life.
Bollocks. I'm gonna take over. Oh shit, it's doing it. Okay. Oh, sorry.
So
It was a bit brave turning into the left lane there when we had to get back in this one, wasn't it? It's driving like a real Aucklander.
Keep left to take Boomerang Street exit.
Boomerang Street. Could
I
it
like this
be any
channel.
more ochre? Oh, we're going to the left lane. Why not? Sure.
Very cool.
The thing is, the car is doing all the driving, it's doing all the hard work right now, but I'm the one sweating right now. Let's turn the aircon down first.
So part of this really
we're
has
turning
to
left
do
here?
with the fact that you do have to.
The thing is,
become
as cool
comfortable with
as
it. It's
full
very
self-driving
scary.
without
if you're in the
human
backseat or something, it
without
doesn't
human
feel like that
supervision,
big
as
a deal,
cool as
but
that is,
sitting
I
in the
think we're still
driver's
quite a
seat,
long way away from it.
Very much.
Because there's, in my mind, there's three things that have to happen before that happens. First of all the road markings have to be pretty spot on. You know, or the car could get confused.
Definitely not.
Secondly, I would recommend, even though I'm not an engineerologist, I would recommend re-enabling the radar if it isn't already turned on. And
It's not.
the third, oh, we're moving. And the third thing is more miles. We need more drivers to drive these cars, millions.
Okay, so the first two, I definitely not. I've had the car drive in completely ridiculous conditions, including across grass fields and things like that before. So it does not need clearly defined lane markings at all. The car's radar system is not working, even if it's installed in it. And the real world miles or kilometers, yes, that's always going to help. But and especially in Australia and stuff and New Zealand, because they don't have as many miles. But remember, they got a lot of Teslas there right now, so those have been driving and collecting miles in the meantime. So they have been collecting miles, but more is always better for that.
Millions and millions of Ks. So they learn how humans interact in certain circumstances, how humans interact in certain
But they have been
roundabouts
learning,
and
even here,
interactions and
they've been watching
intersections.
humans.
And it can try and mimic those. and get rid of any phantom braking and.
But interestingly enough, he's caught up on this phantom braking, which is really not an issue anymore. It hasn't been for a while. But the interesting thing about this, he says, like, imitating humans, and that is good up to a point. But there is a point at which human beings are actually holding things back because we're only so good. After 100+ years of driving, we're like this good at driving, right? There's some level of human driving. These cars could get better than human driving, and they can do that through reinforcement learning and stuff. So it's not just the kilometers driven, but it's also the ability to play in a virtual sandbox and figure things out. That also has a real impact on stuff.
Phantom obstacles. I think if you do all those three things combined, I think we'll be onto a winner. I think we'll have full self-driving unsupervised on our roads soon.
At least, big a deal
at least on Kiwi roads, I think we can get away with it. Aussies, you guys have to wait a bit longer, I reckon. New Zealand, the land of the free. Or at least reasonably priced. Okay, are you going to indicate? I'm going to do it for you, mate. Again. I'm not going to give it a hard time.
I don't know.
They
I
warned
think
us,
that's
but
a
it's
beta
still learning.
because the car actually excessively indicates in the US.
The first day you drove a car, were you as good as this? No, you weren't. So I'm going to cut it some slack. Because we are witnessing history in action here. Okay, it's a stop sign. Are you going to come to a complete stop? Oh, this will be spicy. This is quite a busy intersection.
Equivalent, but there's a lot of traffic.
Is it going to do it?
So it's unprotected.
Oh, thank you. I'm going to do it. I tapped the accelerator and it suddenly spurred into life. Okay. I don't think
he did tap the
car. That's one thing. The car couldn't see that the other driver was waving me in. I don't think the software's there yet. So still a little bit of human interaction.
Interesting note there that he tapped the accelerator. Sometimes the car can be hesitant, and sometimes tapping the accelerator will help. It's unclear if he had waited a couple more seconds. It is possible the car could have moved because there are good indications that the vehicle the cameras can actually see hand gestures and stuff. And it's really pretty amazing. It's actually a very, very polite driver. So it would have been interesting if he'd waited 1 or 2 more seconds just to see if it would have gone forward. But still, he tapped the accelerator. So that does count as a small intervention, not a big one.
Goes a long way. Okay, how's it going to handle this motorbike coming up on the right-hand side doing lane splitting? Is it going to do any reaction? Will it notice it? No, it sees it. It already knows about it. Likely before any drivers do.
It probably did move to the left.
I used to drive through here.
Yeah.
The 4X sign. Oh, I'd love a beer. Can't drink and drive. Hey, maybe one day with full self-driving, unsupervised, maybe one day you'll be able to do that.
It's like, yeah, sure.
Hey, they said this would never happen, and look at it. Mobile 4X while driving could be coming to a future near you.
200 meters, turn right onto Baru.
Oh, there's a car there. Will you let me in?
Okay, so this one's a right-hand
junction. Okay, it's going to barge its way in.
I think.
All right,
so
here we go.
This could be a lot more challenging.
I'm going to thank you for letting me in. The car did it, not me. Please don't hate me. Okay, you're going to move into the right lane? Yeah. Oh, look at this. This is brilliant. Oh, that's great. Look at that. Tesla, MGZS EV. What have we got there? Oh, that's some combustion thing. Okay, here we go. We have to actually use give way rules here. Let's see how the car reacts. There's nothing oncoming. Oh, there is a car oncoming. What are you going to do, car? That white car's coming. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Go, 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 go. All right. I would have gone a bit quicker, but I understand there's a vehicle in front. Aussie crossing signs are weird. They've got some decapitated lower limbs flailing on a sign. You get complacent after a while, you relax and you get used to it. But when you think about it, that I'm monitoring a vehicle operate itself, and this is a vehicle that runs off electricity, that it's a renewable resource. We can make it until the sun explodes in 4.6 billion years from now. We've got the technology, we can do it. Why isn't everyone doing that? Why aren't we all doing this?
Good question.
What did you say you were doing? Left. Okay, I'm going to indicate for it. Oh no, it figured it out. Just like they said, late indicating.
Just
I would
has
have
to be
indicated
patient.
back.
I think some of the interventions he's had are just not being patient quite enough.
It's clear, mate.
So
do your thing, baby.
Making a stop, making a full stop.
I didn't do that.
This is oh right. I was thinking it was turning right out in front of that car, but it's not.
Very
it's
graceful.
left hand.
Up for a parked car. Yep, it sees it.
It's confusing me even.
All the obstacles I think it's going to hit, it sees it. Motorbikes, parked cars, oncoming traffic. I am very impressed. And I'm dead inside. So that should tell you something.
Enter the roundabout and take the third.
Roundabout. I'm getting excited. Yeah, but the first roundabout, I was panicking. This roundabout, bring it on, baby. Come on. Let's see what you got. Give us a challenge. Third exit. Okay, well, this is a weird, whoa.
I guess the rules are you do have to have your hand on the wheel.
Okay, this is like a giant kidney bean. Let's see if we can get around this thing. My hands are just touching the wheel. My feet are off the pedals. Oncoming traffic. Traffic in front of me, roundabout. We're going to go around the roundabout, and it's going to do it all by itself. You ready?
There's a lot of traffic going on here. So,
Gun it.
Oh, he tapped the accelerator, so.
Look at that.
Yeah. So I think he, again, was being a little aggressive and not waiting because it probably would have done
Which
it.
lane are we going to be in? We're in both of them? Which lane?
That's a little beta error right
We're
there.
going to go
trying
left?
to figure out what lane it wants.
Okay, so that wasn't the smoothest I've ever seen. Okay, so it's slowing right down in the school zone. Slowed down to 23 k's an hour for some reason.
All right, we got a
pedestrian
crossing coming up.
Okay, my foot's by the brake. Okay, there's another pedestrian. Will it see him? Look at that, it sees the pedestrian.
Yeah, you can. I think you can see it in the visualization. That was a little rough to see.
And look at that, it's accelerating
Anyway,
by
it definitely
itself.
reacted properly.
I love it, man. Everything I throw at this car, it just eats it up. I'm sorry if I seem a bit excited right now, but I love new tech. I really love it. Especially revolutionary new tech. I don't mean like a new gilded letter opener. I mean stuff like this that can change lives for the better.
Right, that's true.
This is impressive stuff, man. I am really, really wowed by this. Okay, well, this is not a real road. This is not a public road, so it's having a little trouble here. I'm not going to go at a hard time with this.
Let's see
I'm
what
going to take
happens
over here.
This will be interesting.
But on the public roads, that,
well, I guess he
that
took
was
over there.
revolutionary.
Okay.
And it's just a sign of things to come.
Overall, the system was excellent. It handled T-junctions by itself with ease, monitoring and yielding to oncoming traffic until it was safe to move. It paid attention to the traffic lights, even though the central display showed those traffic lights sometimes dancing around and going haywire.
That is a
it
little
also
weird. It
handled
doesn't look quite that
roundabouts
bad
with
in the
ease.
US.
In fact, the only issues I found on this early version of the software were a lack of indicating when leaving roundabouts or late indicating when approaching intersections. It also sometimes struggled with picking a lane when navigating confusing, curved multi-lane intersections like this, much like a learner driver would when they're beginning. Also, this early software sometimes drove slower than the traffic around it on some busy streets. At the end of the press drive, other drivers all said the same thing, and in my case, all my own driver takeovers were due to a lack of confidence in the system. Either I didn't know if it could see the other cars I could, or if it could see jutting out curbs on unusual intersections like this one. Overall though, supervised full self-driving blew me away, even in this early stage, and whether you like or loathe the Tesla brand or the idea of autonomous driving in general, you cannot deny that this is an impressive feat of human engineering, and it's only just the beginning.
So there you have it. Indeed, you can see the just incredible, like his mind equals blown, right? Several times you could see him just going like, I can't believe this is actually happening. So again, being folks that have lived in this bubble in the US for so long, it becomes very easy to get jaded about this. The Overton window of what's possible kind of keeps shifting, and we're like, yeah, boring stuff. Well, you can see quite clearly that people who live in other countries that haven't experienced this yet, it really blows their minds. It's very impressive software. It's really cool what Tesla has done. Are there still issues with the Australia-New Zealand version? Yes, there are. Obviously, there's a few things, not that big a deal, but it's some stuff that looks like it was 3 or 4 versions ago in the US version, right? You got some stuff with lane changing, with late indication. I didn't see too much trouble with the windshield wipers, so that's good. There was a lot of rain and, misty rain. So it seemed to have the appropriate amount of windshield wiping, which is good. That's always been a problem with Tesla stuff. But overall, you can just see like this is incredible. And it's so cool to see someone who hasn't been along for the ride for the last 5 years get to experience this. It's just like suddenly being brought into the future. It's like, waking up 5 years later and going like, wow, the world is really different than I thought it was 5 years ago. This is so cool. So a big thanks to Ecotricity for doing this video. Again, please do watch the original down in the comments. I cut out some stuff in my version of the video, so watch the whole thing. You'll enjoy it very much, I promise you. And if you get the chance, please like this video so other people can find it. And if you want to see more of this kind of content, please consider subscribing to the channel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.